Welcome to latest News Blaster. It all started quietly. Too quietly for the ever-watchful eyes of the entertainment world. When Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton were spotted in the same Nashville circle again after years apart, whispers quickly turned into headlines. But what no one expected was the surprising intervention of Taylor Swift, who, according to close sources, stepped in with a heartfelt warning to both of them. And it's safe to say, the drama that followed has left the internet in absolute shock. The unexpected reunion. For years, country music fans thought they had seen the last of Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert as a couple. Their 2015 divorce had been one of the most publicized breakups in country music history, complete with rumors of betrayal, tears, and two hearts that had grown apart under the spotlight. But last month, the two found themselves face to face once again. Not at an award show, not in a recording studio, but at a private industry event in Nashville. According to multiple insiders, the atmosphere was tense but emotional. They talked like two people who had unfinished business, one source revealed. You could feel the energy shift in the room when they locked eyes. It wasn't hate, it wasn't love, it was something in between. Taylor Swift's connection to both. Now, where does Taylor Swift come into this? Well, Taylor has a long history with both Blake and Miranda. Over the years, she's shared mutual respect and friendship with them, performing on the same stages, collaborating in songwriting circles, and navigating the unpredictable waters of fame together. But Taylor is also someone who has lived her life through emotional transparency. And when she heard about Blake and Miranda reconnecting, she didn't stay silent. Taylor reached out to both of them. An insider close to her team shared. She told them she had seen this kind of story play out too many times, and that if they weren't careful, old wounds could reopen in ways they might regret. Swift reportedly told them, "Closure isn't always about rekindling. Sometimes it's about letting go gracefully." Blake sighed, torn between nostalgia and stability. For Blake Shelton, the situation seems complicated. Since marrying pop icon Gwen Stefani, he's built a new chapter of his life, calmer, more private, more mature. But sources say the sudden reappearance of Miranda stirred emotions he thought he'd buried. Blake was shocked by how natural it felt to talk to her again. A friend of his confessed. He wasn't expecting that kind of emotional flashback. Still, those close to him insist there's no romantic intention behind his renewed contact with Miranda. Instead, Blake reportedly wants peace and closure, something he never truly achieved after their messy split. He doesn't want to hurt Gwen, another insider added. He knows what's at stake. But part of him also feels like he owes Miranda an apology, or at least a proper goodbye. Miranda's emotional reflection. Miranda Lambert, on the other hand, has never been shy about channeling her pain into her music. Since her divorce, she's poured her emotions into raw, authentic songs that resonated deeply with fans who have loved and lost. When asked about seeing Blake again, Miranda reportedly told a close friend, "It wasn't supposed to happen, but maybe it needed to." In recent interviews, she's also spoken about forgiveness and the weight of holding on to resentment. "Sometimes you don't realize how much you've carried until you finally set it down," she said, in one candid moment during a Nashville radio show. So when Taylor Swift reached out to her, Miranda listened, not defensively, but reflectively. Taylor told her, "You've healed so much. Don't let an old flame reignite the fire that once burned you," the source. Taylor's warning, a voice of experience. Taylor Swift isn't just another friend in this scenario, she's someone who's experienced public heartbreak, emotional resurgence, and the complexities of reconnection firsthand. Her entire artistic journey is built on transformation through pain, lessons through love, and growth through forgiveness. So when she stepped in, it wasn't to stir drama. It was to protect both Blake and Miranda from themselves and from the endless cycle of gossip that could swallow them whole. She's been there, a Nashville insider explained. She's seen how public relationships can become emotional battlegrounds. Taylor just wanted to make sure they weren't walking into another storm. Swift's message reportedly came with empathy, not judgment. "Love doesn't always mean reunion," she said. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is walk away, this time, for good. The internet reacts. Fans divide themselves. Once fans caught wind of the reunion rumors and Taylor's supposed involvement, the internet exploded with opinions. Some praised Taylor for being the voice of reason. Taylor Swift has grown into that wise friend we all need. She speaks from experience. Blake and Miranda should listen. Others, however, accused her of inserting herself into drama that wasn't hers to manage. Why does Taylor always have to play the emotional referee? Let them figure it out. But most agreed on one thing: her intentions seemed genuine. Swift, who's navigated the highs and lows of fame since her teenage years, understands how quickly a private moment can turn into a media circus. Behind the scenes, what really happened that night? According to an exclusive from a Nashville music executive, the event where Blake and Miranda reunited wasn't some planned meeting. It happened by chance. Both were invited by mutual friends, unaware the other would attend. At first, they avoided eye contact, the executive revealed. Then Miranda walked up, smiled, and said, "Hey stranger." It broke the ice. The two reportedly shared a short but emotional conversation. They laughed about old memories, talked about the music scene, and eventually got serious about their past, another source added. There were no tears, no hugs, just a moment of raw honesty. The following day, Taylor Swift reached out to both, whether through text or call, no one knows exactly, but sources confirm that she acted swiftly, no pun intended. Gwen Stefani's response. Of course, no story involving Blake Shelton can ignore Gwen Stefani. The pop superstar, who stood by Blake through thick and thin, was reportedly aware of the reunion, and, according to close friends, handled it with grace. "Gwen trusts Blake," said one insider. "She knows where his heart is, but she also knows that seeing Miranda again could stir old emotions, and that's never easy." Sources say Gwen wasn't angry but rather cautiously understanding. She reportedly told Blake, "You have to do what brings you peace, but remember where home is." Taylor, Gwen, and the sisterhood of understanding. What's fascinating is how Taylor Swift and Gwen Stefani share a quiet, mutual respect. Both are artists who've rebuilt themselves after heartbreak, both have reinvented their careers multiple times, and both understand how hard it is to live authentically under public scrutiny. So when Taylor reached out to Blake and Miranda, Gwen reportedly didn't take it as interference. She took it as support. She knows Taylor's heart, a friend close to the couple shared. Taylor's not trying to start drama. She's trying to stop it before it explodes. A deeper message about healing. Beyond the headlines and speculation, this story reflects something deeply human: the struggle to reconcile with one's past while honoring one's present. For Blake and Miranda, this wasn't about rekindling romance. It was about facing memories that never got proper closure. For Taylor Swift, it was about using her voice to remind them, and perhaps all of us, that healing doesn't always mean returning. Sometimes it means finally saying, "It's okay now." The aftermath. What's next? So where do things stand now? Reports suggest that after Taylor's gentle warning, both Blake and Miranda decided to keep their renewed contact limited, friendly, respectful, but not emotional. Taylor's words hit home, one insider admitted. They both realized they didn't need to reopen that chapter to appreciate what they once had. Blake continues to focus on his marriage with Gwen, while Miranda is channeling her emotions into a new record that insiders describe as powerful, raw, and honest. As for Taylor, she's back in her creative zone, rumored to be writing new material that explores themes of reconciliation, peace, and emotional maturity. Fans see symbolism. Fans have taken to social media, drawing parallels between this real-life drama and Taylor's music. Many pointed to her lyrics from "You're Losing Me" and The Archer, calling them prophetic about cycles of love and loss. Taylor doesn't just write about heartbreak, she studies it, one fan wrote. That's why her advice means so much. She gets it. Even weeks after the incident, Nashville is still buzzing. Country cafes, radio studios, and songwriting circles can't seem to let go of the story. What began as a quiet chance meeting between two exes has turned into one of the most discussed reunions of the decade. And Taylor Swift's name, once again, is right in the center of it all. "People keep asking if Taylor was being dramatic," said a Nashville producer who's worked with all three artists. "But if you know her, you know she doesn't do drama. She does honesty." And that's exactly what this moment needed. For those close to the situation, Taylor's warning wasn't about protecting reputations, it was about protecting hearts. "She knows how nostalgia can trick you," the source continued. "When you're in the same room with someone who once knew every inch of your soul, it's easy to think those feelings mean something again." But Taylor reminded them that comfort and compatibility aren't the same thing. Miranda's quiet reflection. In the weeks since, Miranda Lambert has gone noticeably quiet on social media, a rare move for someone so connected to her fans. Her last post was a photo of a sunset over the Tennessee hills with the caption, "Some chapters end quietly, and that's okay." Fans immediately connected it to her emotional reunion with Blake. Underneath, thousands of comments poured in. Taylor was right. Peace is better than passion sometimes. Peabraphy, proud of you, Miranda. Closure looks good on you. Behind the silence, sources reveal that Miranda has been spending more time writing in solitude, rediscovering her creative rhythm. Her next project reportedly focuses on healing, forgiveness, and the beauty of unfinished stories. "She cried a lot after that night," one friend shared. Not because she missed him, but because she finally accepted that it was truly over. And that's the hardest piece to find. Blake's emotional dilemma. Blake Shelton, meanwhile, has stayed loyal to his commitment to Gwen Stefani, but even he hasn't escaped the emotional weight of seeing Miranda again. According to a close friend, Blake isn't the type to dwell on the past, but this hit him differently. He realized how much they'd both changed, and how different their lives had become. It was bittersweet. Sources say that after Taylor's call, Blake took some time to reflect alone at his Oklahoma ranch, away from the cameras, the music, and the noise. He told a friend, "Taylor made me realize that sometimes closure isn't a conversation, it's a choice." It's that level of introspection that fans rarely see from the country star known for his humor and charm. But in private, Blake reportedly expressed gratitude to Taylor for keeping things from getting messy. "She saved him from a tabloid storm," the insider revealed. Taylor's words helped him set boundaries before rumors could spiral out of control. Gwen Stefani's strength. While fans speculated about Gwen's feelings, she remained the picture of calm, appearing radiant during a recent interview where she briefly addressed the topic. "I think everyone has a past," Gwen said softly, "but love is about trust. I know who Blake is today, that's what matters." Her response drew praise from fans who admired her maturity and security. "Gwen handled this like a queen," one commenter wrote. "She's unbothered because she knows her place in Blake's heart." Insiders claim that Gwen even texted Taylor to thank her for being a good friend to everyone involved. The two reportedly share a mutual understanding, one built on emotional resilience and respect for healing. Taylor Swift, from friend to peacemaker. In the aftermath, Taylor Swift has unintentionally taken on a new public image, not just as a pop icon, but as a mediator of emotions. Taylor's advice wasn't some dramatic confrontation, said one of her inner circle members. It was calm, heartfelt, and mature. She told them both to honor the lessons, not the pain. Her words echoed something she once said in an old interview. "You can forgive someone without inviting them back into your life. That's the most freeing kind of love." Many fans now see her as a bridge between old wounds and new wisdom. A woman who's lived through heartbreak and emerged not bitter, but balanced. In fact, some industry insiders believe Taylor's experience with her own past relationships gave her unique empathy. She's learned that emotional closure isn't about revenge or reunion, one insider explained. It's about peace, the industry's whisper network. Within the country music industry, Taylor's intervention has sparked quiet discussions about maturity, boundaries, and fame. 10 years ago, something like this would have exploded, said a veteran journalist. But Taylor handled it with such class that it never turned into a feud. Music executives have even praised her behind closed doors for showing emotional leadership, a rare trait in a world that often feeds off drama. Taylor taught everyone that private growth can exist even in a public industry, another source said. That's powerful, the power of emotional wisdom. What makes this story resonate so deeply with fans isn't just the celebrity angle, it's the humanity behind it. Blake and Miranda represent two people who once shared dreams, pain, and songs. Taylor represents the friend who sees both sides, the voice of reason that reminds us that sometimes love must evolve into distance. In the words of one Nashville songwriter, it's like a country song and a Taylor Swift bridge collided. Pain, wisdom, and peace all at once. Taylor's final word. Weeks later, Taylor briefly addressed the situation during a private conversation with fans at a meet and greet. When asked about giving advice to other artists, she smiled and said, "I think we all owe it to each other to be kind. Sometimes that means cheering someone on, and sometimes it means warning them not to get lost again." It wasn't a direct confirmation, but fans instantly knew what she meant. The internet exploded with theories, and I warned them both started trending on X, formerly Twitter, for 2 days straight. Memes, fan edits, and emotional threads filled timelines. Half nostalgic, half proud. One fan wrote, "Taylor Swift isn't just writing about love anymore. She's guiding others through it." The legacy of this moment. Looking back, this moment might become one of those rare events where the celebrity world teaches something deeply real about the human heart. Blake learned that closure can exist without conversation. Miranda learned that letting go can be an act of strength. And Taylor reminded everyone watching that protecting